well you'll learn what you're staring at. Turn my head at you slow like an owl, just glaring back. It become a problem like junk mail, I tear in half. Tired of putting you fucks in my trunk, so spare me man. I'm always hearing bullshit as it rambles on. It brings a whole new meaning to the city of Babylon. The central fake immerses in my disc till they dissipate. Gotta make it numb like crack your dome, then I split your brain. Mix it eggs and right before I serve you, bitch, I flip your plate. Jump on the table and kick you in the face. Go upside your head like a wig, watch me wig out. Eat you like a Snickers bar, watch me pig out. Climb you like Tosh, drop you like bras. And for every lie you tell me, I cut a finger off. You said VECT, come on man, cut me some slack. Fuck that, only slack I'm cutting is fat off your back, bitch. Go into my past, so don't ask. You don't have the password, just have things backwards. I go into a bloodlust, nearly every hunter's moon. I don't play like video games, so meet your fucking doom. Zip your mouth up and break the zipper off. Put some cracks in your head with the bigger rock. There's nothing on this, like no witness, no motive. Like Father, Son, Holy Spirit, that hocus pocus. I'm from the arcane like my name, but much bigger. Body parts everywhere, but had fun with you, and here you are. Thinking I've gone too far, but I'm a black moon and red sky, watch me shoot stars. Heavy shells in my hand like I'm playing in the sand. Sit back like Mr. Burns, excellent, my bloody hands. I'm roasting and burning you like it covered in gas. Through duct tape, screen full blast, and I light the match. Singing with myself like a duet with Tourette's. Fuck Parker Brothers, I'm playing Russian roulette. Yeah, you claim you hear me, but yo, listen here. This isn't a restroom, don't be bringing your shit here. If I look exhausted, it's cause I'm tired of bullshit. I break down like a metal song and swing like a bull hits. Got no time for you like broken clocks for petty rivalry. But if you wanna come see what your homicide will be, issue buried away so I forget the name. Because shit get deep when shit get grave. Bullets dipped in cyanide, call it lead poisoning. Ayy, so let me know where you and your boys will be. Everyone gets freaked whenever I speak. Let the wolf feast on timid weak sheep. Go hard in this bitch, leaving scars in this bitch. Make blood appear and drip, after all I'm a prick. Call themselves that, then show they're empty. Fuck the name from where you came, your fame and your face. You ain't the big picture, so get out of the frame. Don't let me catch your MC. Call themselves that, then show they're empty. Fuck the name from where you came, your fame and your face. You ain't the big picture, so get out of the frame. R.A.P. now means retards of poetry. Hip-hop got destroyed like the Titanic, so it's going deep. Call me a hater because you're annoying me. Learn much more words, you stupid turd, you're absurd or a blur. Think you embarrassed yourself long enough. Take yourself to a very high cliff and have a nice jump. You don't respect this music, you treat it like a parlay. If that's the way you want it, you're gonna learn the hard way. You need to be showing thanks for those who paved the way, instead of just throwing lame comments like a waste of space. Hi, you so whack, man, with your crap name. You're a crap stain, little dignity, so needy, less than half brain. You want attention, or put attention on your throat while you're mumbling gross. Beat you with your chain on the stage of the show. No originality, you're a rip-off artist with your hubris. Play target, then get buried under garbage. Don't let me hit your MC. call themselves that, then show their MP. Fuck the name from where you came, your fame and your face. You ain't the big picture, so get out of the frame. Don't let me catch a MC. Call themselves that, then show their MP. Fuck the name from where you came, your fame and your face. You ain't the big picture, so get out of the frame.
How could that be? I don't understand.
He's back, everybody. Yes, that was Dark Laughs by my boy VECT.
And this is the Nothing Sacred interview with VECT. I am Cruise Control.
And I'm Maxwell Silverhammer.
Thank you for joining us this evening, man.
Oh, absolutely, man. Fucking underground style. You know, I got to get with these guys, so
Hell
got
yeah.
to do it.
Man.
I'm
Well, you know, when
around, you know.
Right. Well, you know, when I interviewed you 5 years ago, man, you pretty much said you were done with rap. You were hanging it up. That was the end. So what made you reconsider?
Well, I never said officially, you know, like never said it was completely done. I thought I was done with albums because I was like, wow, this is becoming so futile, and I felt like real trivialized, real slept on, and I'm like, God, dude, this is like really becoming more work than fun to me. So, you know, you reach so hard, so long, your arm starts to just die, and then you just lose your mobility and your whole muscle atrophy. So I kind of felt like an atrophied muscle just doing this shit. So I'm like, let me just because I got my newfound sense of humor, you know, like I reinvented my sense of humor when I did Portrait of a Villain, and I just started branching that shit out, started writing more jokes. All through 2014, I was kind of like going to Lash University, just soaking in comedy. And also, like when you try to do something else, sometimes it's like the same shit all over again in a different way. Like it's like you get a new car, but it has the same problems. So
Right.
I would often try to find open mic, you know, the comedy scene. That was hard to get into as well. So I was like, I guess this is kind of be where music was, is just make it as a hobby, because I don't want to make it a career. I don't want to make this shit more work than it is fun, because it will shift to that lane. And if you can actually have a job and maintain fun, it's a hard thing to ride, but it's good if you can obtain that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I didn't really, I never hung it up officially though, man. Music's embedded in my soul. It's like tatted on my arm. There's a bleeding music note, you know. It's like, that's for life shit. That's like gang shit, you know. So I don't get out of it. I just stay on the low and kind of like do my gang banging when I feel it's necessary. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
So
that's what it came out to be.
definitely understand the album stuff. Like I'm in a group right now, several groups, and getting stuff out. It's definitely more of a single a market for that too, and you know, it's all about the single now and putting out stuff when you do it. Like if you notice a lot of artists you'll see on, you know, Spotify or other places, they'll have just one song come out until they have enough songs that are actually out, and then they'll put all the songs they have out into an album. So, you know, and I know from Max's
I've done that.
Yeah.
I did something like that with Portrait of a Villain. I kind of like let a whole bunch of singles out the gate as I kept making the album, and I didn't really care too much because it was like, you know, I wasn't high on the attention ladder as it is, so it's not like I have to act a certain way. It's more of a reason I can do things when I want to do them. But I also didn't want to let too much out of the bag before the actual thing was done, so it was like, okay, I'm going to chill on all this releasing shit. And then this album, I put out 2 singles 2 years before the album came out, you know, like How's That Different Balls and Once, Twice, Thrice. I had those out as singles, you know. I was like, yo, they will be on the next album. Some people say this is supposed to be on the next album and this is supposed to be on the next album, and it doesn't go on the next album. And I'm like, why do you do that?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Let's step back a little bit though for some of our listeners who might not know what you're about and when you started. When did you start getting into music and producing your own stuff and just general, like what inspired you? When was that, and you know what got you into this?
Well, so all right, I guess once upon a time I was born under an abandoned bridge, and then no, I'm kidding. So what happened is I was 12 years old and I just started dicking around with my dad's guitar, and I was like, all right, I'm thinking I'm gonna fuck with some shit here. And I didn't know what the hell I'm doing, of parts of his brains breaking the shit. And then it wound into be some real inspiration coming in from a lot of rock music at the time. You know, I was 13, so I was really getting into metal. I started messing with music around like 11, but I didn't know what in the hell I was doing. So 13 comes in, age 13, I'm getting way more into metal. I started a few years later getting more into hip hop and finding, you know, more rap, and I didn't really have a lot of exposure to it because, you know, when you're a kid, you kind of care too much what people think, and you're like, oh God, what am I doing? So I got out of that stupid crap, and then started getting more into underground shit, you know. And then one day, the homie at the time was saying, all right, that's cool, you know, we can karaoke and shit tonight, because we'd always do that just to hang around and perform, and we didn't really do our own shit, though, but he wanted to. It was like, tonight we're going to freestyle. I'm like, what the fuck? You want to freestyle? And he was kind of nice. Me, I thought I'd be horrid, but kind of like helped me to it. So I started freestyling. We're juggalos at the time and shit. You know, we're just a bunch of underground kids and shit. We don't really know anything, but I started flowing. And I got to admit, man, the first time I ever did it, he was giving me props. And I looked at the video. We just had videos going as we kept flowing and freestyling and shit. I'm like, you know, I'm not that bad. He's like, you're not, and you should keep building on it. And I took that as, like, real serious when he said that, because, you know, like, this guy was talented. He wasn't really established as an artist, but he was really talented when he told me that. And I took that as an important thing. So then you fast forward about, maybe 2 years later, I put out this demo album, and it licked dick for quarters. It was horrible. And it was like, you know, when you learn how to rap album, you know, your basement album and
your training wheel album.
It was so bad. It was like paralysis for your ears. It was so bad. So I took a lot of that and processed it really, really closely, you know, and really looked at it on a very critical way. And I said, God, that was disgusting. And I will never do a lot of the shit I did in this album again. So that was a real learning change right there. So then 2 years go by, and I did the same thing I did, if you recall, with what I did in 2014, learning comedy. This is what I was doing with hip hop at the time. So this is 2003. I just put out that demo, and it was so bad, and I was kicking myself to hell for it. Next 2 years, learning not to do anything like that again, change a lot, soak in other influences, and, you know, like, this is a few years after I started listening to B, you know, like, Be Sick, when I found his shit, and I was, like, you know, real influenced by some real underground stuff that was not known, you know, like, this was, like, I was listening to a lot of Nodis and Esham and Be Sick, and then I found Brother Lynch, and I was like...
It's just funny because I never knew all this, by the way, until later.
Oh wow, man, that's your influence, man.
I know.
It's definitely an influence, because he was one of the MCs I never heard in Vegas, and I was like, I paid real close attention when I heard an MC come out of Vegas. Like, when I heard Doomsday, I was like, oh shit. So when I found B stuff, I was like, yo, this motherfucker's blind for real? And I thought that was absurdly dope. Like, because you have an impairment like that, how the fuck do you do that? You know, I can't even fathom.
Right.
So that threw me out the window with surprise.
Well, change your expectations.
So the next year, the expectations, you could say, flipped on its ass. They totally changed around. And then the next 2 years, from 2003 to 5, I just wrote like a psycho, you know, just wrote and wrote and wrote and wrote. And then finally I found someone serious enough to record me, no dicking around, because I'd come from a circle with all these dudes were wannabe MCs, and they were not getting anywhere. They were playing games, they were using me. So I, you know, watching 8 Mile straighten all that shit out. I'm like, fuck this fool, you know?
Man. Well, you know,
that was pretty much how it started.
It's crazy, though, man, because, you see, I didn't know any of this shit until later. And it wasn't until I interviewed him like 5 years ago, and he came to All Talk, and we're talking, and he says, you know, there was a blind rapper out of Las Vegas, man. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. Be Sick? And I was like, dude, you're talking to him.
No way. That did not fucking
I
happen.
shit
dude.
my pants.
Yeah, it did happen.
I shit my pants.
Because I didn't know
shit my
him.
pants. He said that. I'm like, you are fucking with me, right? I really thought he was playing a joke. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure I am. And then no, he reaffirmed it, and it was not a crack with a smile on his face. I'm like, oh shit. So yeah, I was nuts.
Because see, I didn't know him at the time he was listening to my music. You know what I mean? So it just so happened we were talking about rappers. Somebody else was doing a show at the time in there. So him and I were just sitting in the lobby or standing outside all talk, just bullshitting. And we were talking about local rappers, and I came up apparently. So
that's
it was
hilarious,
crazy,
dude. And it's kind of funny because Max, be sick here. He gave up on that shit because it was frustrating. He felt he wasn't getting anywhere with it. But then you think about it later on, you go, man, he actually influenced people to get further into rap and into lyric and so. Man, Max, you actually, hey, man, it was all worthwhile, dude. You know what I'm saying?
I know, it did. Just when you don't think you're making an effect,
That's hilarious,
crazy.
dude.
So. Yeah, man, I mean, it's weird. You never know. It's like I got a song on POV, Portrait of a Villain. The song's called Who's Listening, and you really don't know who the fuck is listening. So that's a magic shit right there. That's what magic is,
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that's it.
When shit like that happens, I believe in magic.
Yeah, it's called serendipity is the term that I've been using lately. And if you know what that means, basically what it means is when something that kind of just happens that's beneficial to people.
Yeah.
Like you just kind of don't know what happens and it's beneficial, but
just falls in place, man. That's what happens, Yeah. But this is dope, man. This is the new album, Dark Daze and Bright Nights. And so this dropped when? Just like last week, didn't it?
Yeah, this came out July 2nd. So that was I think
2 weeks ago or something.
Dark Days and Bright Nights? Or Bright Lights?
No, not Dark Days and Bright Nights. Dark Days, Bright Nights, yeah.
Dark Days, Bright Nights, right.
Gotcha.
Right.
Okay.
So, which I think the title's dope, man.
Thanks.
So.
I spelled it Daze, D-A-Z-E, and Nice with K-N-I-C-E.
Oh, see, I wouldn't have even known that if I didn't, because Jaws just reads it. So I'm just thinking, so. But and I'm glad you said that because when I do the description for the for the video, I can be sure to put the correct, it's spelled correctly in there. You know what I'm saying?
Now, when you went,
well, it's funny because. Go ahead.
No,
go ahead, man. Go ahead.
You go ahead.
I didn't really have anything. I was just going to say spelling.
Okay, well, I was going to say, so what do you, like, when you come up with an album, like, do you have do you have a concept for the theme of the album, or do you just, come up with a bunch of songs and then, like put them together and then decide what it's, how
they've all been wrote differently. They've all been wrote so differently. So sometimes I'll just pull something out of my ass and I'm like, what's this piece of shit? And then I'll see if I could actually build something on it, pepper it up, and build it into something good. Or I'm like, okay, is this meant to just throw them back in the pile? So sometimes I'll come up with something like my name. My name just right in my head one day. So sometimes an idea will come up like that. Like Vilify, that came up like that because I learned what the word meant, and it had a real dark presence to the word. So I started getting the glow out of that, and that built into something else. Then you got Portrait of a Villain. That was kind of like a theme. They all sort of have their own theme. They all have their own flavor. I mean, they're all related. Obviously, it's like all my songs are children, and they're all related. But they're from different mamas and shit. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, let's get to.
They got a different relation.
Let's get to one that's from a different mama, especially from Dark Laughs. Now, this song is called.
We Don't Diet.
We Don't Diet, and we'll talk about it afterwards. But it's definitely a different take. So let's just go into it, and then we'll talk about it after we get back out. So we're back in a few minutes with another segment interview with VECT. This is called We Don't Diet, FAF. Back in a minute.
Giant, blubbery asses. We ain't overweight by accident. We make sure we put gravy on our sandwiches. Bad shit, stomach growling like the poltergeist. My blubber ass falling out my bed. My ribs, I broke them twice. Now I want French toast, dressed in all maple syrup, and consume it all until I choke. Pork chops and maybe a ton of sauce. Slam it down the waitress saying, oh my fucking god. You don't move by now, then you're full. But I eat again in 30 minutes. You better go get the broom. Eat again. We don't complain and don't waste. We circle around our motor church for the same game. Spilling me some breadcrumbs. Percy Alley is my 6 to 66 lunch. Diving in a pig out trough and not slow. Putting on a 2-ton gut in 2 months and it's like that. Big to obese. We don't diet if it doesn't taste good. You can fry it. Blood pressure highs. We don't diet from the chocolate store. We be buying, rubbing up all of the pounds for the big amounts of sugar I love. Can't keep away from the pastries. What I just want, apple pies. My tongue gets burned. Controlled by my food addiction. I can't learn. Better pick it up, cause I'm munching, crunching up the rest with a dip. I just splashed it on the check. Gotta get another bear claw. Fully enjoy shitty breath. Always don't care who I know. We don't diet. Support the value dollar meals for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, regardless on how you feel. It's cheap shit. Ain't it about what you bit? It's about me, what you leave, or what you forget. As long as y'all bought chips, Cheetos with dip, I'm eating all till gone. I need that shit. Every type of sauce a wet dream to me. We feed so long, that's why we're dismantling. Big to obese. We don't diet if it doesn't taste good. You can fry it. Blood pressure highs. We don't diet from the chocolate store. We be buying to restrain the malevolent addiction to my fat ass ways. We're not jogging, bitch. We're not finished. Fuck you. Dropping piles in my shoes. Experiencing hard times, having dropping hella food. Obese shit. What I get, what I feed. Diabetes, gallbladder, gout, heart disease. Filling up a fat amount, cause I always be selecting the rest from the other McDonald's proud. You feeling fed, yo, but I enjoy too much. Smell a picnic smoke, so you know it's lunch. Plus to grab Dunkin', I bust nothing in half. Sit back and laugh at how big I get. Put the food back, you can do that? Better yet, I'm the pigged out serial killer. Lucky Charms, yes. Freak show, different from the rest, but I love it though, then I make a mess. Nom 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 nom. Big to obese. We don't diet if it doesn't taste good. You can fry it. Blood pressure highs. We don't diet from the chocolate store. We be buying. Big to obese. We don't diet if it doesn't taste good. You can fry it. Blood pressure highs. We don't diet from the chocolate store. We be buying. You get that fuck out of my store. You get everything. You fat piece of the fucking shit. I'm breaking skills, not tipping them. In chairs whenever I sit in them. I might break the toilet if I dare try to shit in it. I lie to myself and others, saying that I'm on a diet, but I'm killing myself with terrible eating, and I'm slowly dying. Grocery store at late nights, cause every night is cake night. If I go somewhere, oh, you know it's gonna take time. I don't make the progress, I just make excuses. All the fast food places know me as Mr. Abusive. I look at you, I look at guts. All these overweight fat ass fucks. All these overweight fat as fuck. All these overweight fat ass fucks. I look at you, I look at guts. All these overweight fat ass fucks. All these overweight fat as fuck. All these overweight fat ass fucks. Fat as fuck. Don't have cheeks anymore, I just have jowls. I'm so full of shit I can't even move my bowels. My pancakes look identical to the ones in Uncle Buck. Anytime I have someone join me for one, they be screaming, what the fuck? What's eating Gilbert Grape? By the looks of it is mom. I just take 2 footsteps, all I can take, and they think there's a bomb. I'm binging, I'm stingy, I'm tipping 550. I don't need a cab or a lift but a crane to come and lift me.
Did you eat the rest of the song?
Yeah, we don't diet.
Dang.
What does
We
FAF
don't
stand
diet.
for? Fat as fuck?
Fat as fuck.
Yeah.
That's what I
Fat as fuck.
figured.
Now, you mentioned that's like a spoof of a different song because the guitars are sick, by the way. I like that. It's
Yeah,
funny
shout
as
out
fuck.
to Jimmy Consta, dude.
Yeah.
Jimmy Consta did the guitars for that shit. Jared, I think, did the drums and the other parts. And So it's funny because here's what's ironic, man. I was with a fat guy up in the fucking grocery store 10 years ago, and I wasn't even smoking weed at the time, so don't ask me where this came from. But what happened is I was thinking of We Don't Die from Twisted, which is a banger, and I love that album. Freak Show was a killer album. And that song is such a joint. And I'm like, so I started toying with songs. I'd notice I'd work at this liquor store back in 2008, and I just hear these terrible songs on the radio. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, you can't expect me to take this kind of shit. I can't have headphones on? Okay, I'm going to diss this song real nice. So I'd be like hearing Savage Garden or some shit come on, and I'd be like, I'll be your death, I'll be your hate, I'll be your enemy. Like take these corny, sappy shitbag lyrics and just flip them into something horrible and dark and just mock the hell out of these terrible songs. These songs were so... It's like, look, I don't hate on happy music. It's just that is an extreme happy, fake happy. It's just too much. I'm not happy upbeat because, man, no disrespect to anybody who likes it, but to me, that shit's fucking fake most of the time. I'm not into that upbeat, swing your ass around. Dance is one thing. That's instrumental shit to me. And electronic music, that is real shit for the grass. I definitely do that, guaranteed.
Hold on, just
so back to Die.
Yeah, you were breaking up a little bit. So if you were breaking up just a little bit there, so
what were you gonna say? You were talking about the Savage Garden shit and that kind of music. You just don't like it.
Oh, it's just too damn much, man. It's just too damn happy-go-lucky. It's fake, Like anybody, anything, or anybody that is that happy is a fake fuck, and you make your shit really annoying that way. And I don't know, man. Just sappiness is not happiness. So it's crappiness. The song was not planned. It was just something that darted in my head because I'd been annoyed by these whack ass songs. Shout out to Weird Al because he's like the father of parodies, and I listen to Eat It all the time. I love that song to death. I mean, Weird Al has been killing it for years on the parody game, and sort of as a homage to him or a homage, however you want to say the word, as a respect and a shout out to Weird Al. I wanted to do a parody. I'm like, I've never done a parody. I've done covers, I've done different types, but I've never done a parody, and I never really did that many funny things. So I was like, well, POAV kind of dived into the humor. Some people see it, some people don't know the album. Most people don't know the album. And you'd hear it, like, I don't know if you ever listened to Portrait of a Villain, but that album has like peppermint, of like skits and comedy throughout it in different spots.
So that was you dipping your toe into the comedy pool, huh?
Yeah.
A little bit.
I think it kind of fits the name though, like Darkest Days and Brightest Nights. Like you have the various kinds of songs. Like you have obviously stuff like some of the songs that we're gonna show, like Terrorize, and then obviously Dark Laugh has some gruesome stuff. I think that's the one where you cut the finger off and and then of course one of my favorite lines, City of Babylon. I think that's a tight little line there.
Yeah. I'm always hearing bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. So, but that's like a different. You have a whole bunch of different styles. Like all four of these songs are a little bit different, and that's kind of cool too. You're not just sticking to one one specific genre. You're going a bunch of different places. It's cool too.
It's so boring when you do that. It just wears thin so quick on. It's like cooking bacon on high. You're gonna have nothing. It's gonna be crumbled. It's not a good look, And I've done some out of art and that shit. It's like, damn, dude, change shit, please.
Well, and so those two, actually, you parodied two songs in one on that. You did Twisted, We Don't Die, and Lil Wayne, Rich as Fuck, right?
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
So it was a double parody almost on one track. It was kind of dope.
So, you hear me? You guys still hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Well, you are a little bit breaking up. So if you're moving your phone around, it might.
No. It's still in one spot, but I'm gonna make a little switch here. Maybe this will help.
Okay.
So, any better?
Yeah, you sound good now.
You sound good now. Yeah.
Okay.
It happens.
I hope this ain't crumbled up in garbage. I hope I didn't fuck this all up.
No, you'd be fine.
It's all good. So the conversation's pretty good. So yeah, like you twisted the two songs were together was what Max was talking about.
Right, the Lil Wayne one. So that was in my face. That was too easy. That was given to me practically. Because what do you think people do when they're rich as fuck? They get fat as fuck.
Yeah.
So
squandering money is a pastime in the old U.S.
Damn right.
You know that song puts me in mind of Christian's song Glutton.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never heard it. I remember you telling me about that in the voicemail before, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. No, it totally we have a buddy named Christian who did a song called Glutton, and it's not rap, but it's kind of along the lines of some shit you would do. Like it could have been the intro for that song.
And that's the thing, man. People sometimes think that I won't collaborate with them just because, I do a lot of hip hop, but it's like, dude, listen to more of my shit. There's metal, there's comedy, there's deeper stuff, there's more chill shit. I mean, like, if somebody even did country and I could really get with them on some shit, I would do something with them. So I'm not limited. I've said this a long, long, long time ago. I'm not limited to working with anybody. If I like what you're doing, I'll ride with you.
Yeah, he comes up with some great collaborations. In fact, speaking of my buddy, Ranger Danger is another nickname we have for him, but he's the one who actually created where Max actually recorded.
Still a Stupid Bitch.
Yeah, Still a Stupid Bitch, which we'll be listening to later on in a few minutes.
It'll be that's our world premiere here. We're gonna play this shit. The track that VECT and I teamed up on.
That'll be in a while though, so keep that's at the end of the show later. We got some more stuff. We got another great song coming up too. But he also did the collaboration for another song that Be Sick and I worked on called Onions on Your Burger.
Yeah, that was sick. That was such a good track, man. Everybody involved must have really been pulling their weight because that song came out great.
Yeah.
It was really fast, actually. We just, we knocked it out, in like 3 hours?
3 or 4 hours, yeah. Ranger Danger was the bass player on that. He also did the drum tracks, so created them. And pretty much all the music stuff. Yeah, I sang on that stuff.
You did the vocals, right? You were on the chorus?
Yeah, I created the vocals for that, yeah.
Oh, that's such a good chorus, man. Like, you got the right, tone. You ever notice, how your own voice, when you just do the right note, you're like, okay, that's the one I need to do,
Yeah.
You kind of just buster around with it. You're like, that was it. And you try a different note. You're like, this is garbage, this is shit, this is crap on shit. Oh, here we are. So,
well, you can hear.
I've done that kind of thing a lot, where I've had my voice was so out of tune at times, so I'll have to metal it up and just. Sometimes I'll have to clear my throat just by doing metal vocals, which helps.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I like that though, because you actually do that metal-y shit. In the next song we're gonna hear soon, you do a metal type thing.
Yeah, the chorus.
Yeah, with your chorus.
Yeah, the chorus.
Now, speaking of lyrics and writing it, because we were talking about writing stuff. Now, when you write, I ask this pretty much of a lot of our guests, especially for rap and stuff. When you write, do you have an idea of the beat in your head before you start the rhyme and start creating it? Because I like having an idea of how it's going to sound beforehand. While Be Sick over here, Max, he kind of just can throw it out to anything and then kind of wrap the lyrics to whatever beat they come up with. Do you come up with an idea for a melody or a beat in your head first and then go and then write the rhymes, or
I do both
after? Yeah, okay.
I do both. I do what both you guys do, because I'm on both sides of creativity, because it is a creative thing both ways. If you have a premeditated thing and you don't, that's great too. So it's sometimes just go look in your rhyme book or look in your lyric book, and you might have some perfect shit for something. That's why it's always worth a look.
So you might just write a rap, no beat in mind or anything, and then later you're going through your rhyme book.
Yeah,
beat would go good with this.
There might not be shit there to begin with, and I'll just sometimes I'll just jot some stuff down up in the phone, and then I usually try to write it down because I don't try to rely on phones. I wrote a song, hell no to cell phones, for a reason. So anyway, but yeah, I stick to various forms to writing, man. Sometimes it's impulsive, sometimes it's completely premeditated.
Wow, man.
Yeah, man.
That's part of just you're doing your with creating and all that type of shit. So you're doing this is kind of a limited release, you were saying to us off air. So only on YouTube and SoundCloud and a few other places, right?
Right, because, you know, like, there's other platforms I still want to put it on, but it's like, it's hard to do everything when you do it all yourself, you know, because I'm my own street team pretty much. I do have occasional people to help, but they don't stay consistent, and, you know, it's hard to rely on them because then everybody wants something out of it. So, you know, the reliability factor is really tough to obtain. So I generally try to do everything myself, and that's why I can't do as much. Like, I was never big on getting a lot of shows. I was never big on being on huge sites, platforms, or, you know, any of that. Because, you know, it's like when you do every damn thing yourself, man, sometimes you're just in that circle, and the circle is something only you know, and that's something you can't reshape, you know?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I'm stuck on these only for now, and I'm okay with that, but I would like to be more known. I would like to be out there a little more. Just the thing is, people have an aversity to me because, you know, I'm such an arcane type, and there's a lot of closed minds. People generally approach you with a closed mind. If they're not familiar with you, they're not really too interested in finding you out. They're very dismissive. It's prejudgment. It's you know, it's predisposition. I've been guilty of it. You know, it's not a healthy thing. It's something us as humans, we all do, but we got to try to get rid of that shit. Be open-minded to somebody. And when somebody returns that shit in return, you should definitely build it up more and do the same. But that's not what happens. You notice that we have sort of like an impasse with people. There's somebody who just steps forward and the next person steps backward. And that's often the case. One person will do their part. The next person's like, fuck you. And they had no reason to say fuck you. I had a 5-year-old little girl say fuck you to me the other day. I'm like, God damn the world we live in.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Back that one up for a second. What? You had a 5-year-old say fuck you?
A fucking 5-year-old little girl thought she was cute in front of her shithead little friend. She just goes, fuck you.
Wow, that's funny, man.
That's the future Karen right
man.
there.
Oh, yeah, that is a future Karen. Damn.
That's a lot of it, man. Talking about, like, you know, bad upbringings all around the world. So, of course, naturally, people are going to act that way and shit. So it's sort of what I'm saying with support. It doesn't usually go two ways. And I do every damn thing myself. If I had some, like, you know, I never had a manager, never had an agent, never had a company, never had really a legitimate, solid label. There was always a hole in something. And I'm always, you know, then I just said, you know what, this is kind of better as a hobby because look at what the shit is costing me as a career. And I'm doing it all myself.
Oh, yeah.
Forget it. It's just going to kill you. You're starving yourself in a way. So I just made the decision back when I hung it up, you know, like on the album tip, when I said I'm done, you know, just making albums, everybody had this misconception. If you go back, you'll see I did not say I'm quitting music. There's a misconception going around that people think I said I quit music. I'm like, no. I just said I'm done doing albums. And then when Dark Daze, Bright Nights was formed in my head, it was like, you know, oh shit, someone put a hole in a condom. So,
there's some more children of yours coming out. One of those children is a song that
one of them
going to listen to that's called Terror Eyes. Now that's Terror Eyes in 2 words, Terror and Eyes. So it's kind of pulls together and like nice little play on words there.
Double entendre.
Yeah, and we'll it's called Vampiricore. I think was a little bit of a
featuring Vampiricore. Who is that?
Vampiricore, yeah.
Okay, so featuring him. So we'll get on that. That's from this album, Dark Daze, Bright Nights. And we'll be back in just a few moments. Nothing Sacred interview with VECT.
Yep.
When you really think your life is in danger, you really think it's over, you don't even exist anymore. You're moving, you have no idea what you're doing. You have to piece together what happened afterwards, and you were barely there in the first place. You're just gone. You're gone. You have no fucking idea who you even are right there.
Do you know that the bitches are paralyzed? Eyes of terror and terrorized. But yourself no cure survives. When it's time to ride you from paradise. Do you know that the bitches are paralyzed? Eyes of terror and terrorized. But yourself no cure survives. When it's time to ride you from paradise.
Natural while she coming at your house. Smoking your screens, bash your mouth, take it down like the South. Thinking you were tough shit, now you're excrement. Say your last words, they're death sentences. Suddenly rat a finger to the trigger, other automatic, cause a petty dripping tears full of madness. Stalk your exhaust and a gag in your mouth, set a fire to your soul, thinking like your whole town. You drove by talking shit but don't wanna fight now. Gun shoved into your throat to put your lights out. Pass you don't cross or page, stream cost, spills blood everywhere, that was a clean shot. Kid a Megan Trainor, now she's all up at the basement. Talking to her face, blown a mind, uncomplacent. You need to be butchered like Elvis impersonators. Eyes light up, cause you like Terminator. I wanna see you in like American Idol. The moon's voice in my head, ocean waves for your title. Play with dark minds like driving with the lights off. Get the ride on, then a homicide on. In the night I walk around alone, darkest apparition. Subtract some of these cowards and that's my new addition. Waking up with the severed head of a horse in your bed. I'm a giant tarantula, I stare at you dead. Go horror horrific, get pushed to the limits. And any last minutes when you think you're finished. Like terminal sickness and ripped by the wicked. You hope with the quickness like you're on a hit list. Shit, not the Matrix or Morpheus. Unfold the dystopian, buried in scorpions. FEAR, fuck everything and run. But you were dead before the touch.
You know that the business are paralyzed. Eyes of terror and terrorized. But yourself no cure survives. When it's time to ride, you prepare to die. You know that the business are paralyzed. Eyes of terror and terrorized. But yourself no cure survives. When it's time to ride, you prepare to die.
Creator, bring a light to my mind, start fire. Trapping you with barbed wire, sudden death, barbed wire. I want more silence in the world, I stuff the people down. Rifle off the rounds, many pieces to the ground. I'm always ready for the hearse, know that and rehearse it. Throwing verses like I'm throwing curses. I consume and kill ego, like a burrito. With a side of Doritos, Cheetos, and some Fritos. SEC, they gonna be neato. Watch a Cedo, then I'll scratch you off my shit list like keto. Use you like a tissue that can wipe to rip you. The word is an it says, get lost within you. It's triple W like internet. Worldwide wickedness. Riding in a 53. Coop the villain, including me. Heard you talking, let's see you walking. And like that sign said, you should stop, bitch. The demons leave you screaming, helpless in your defense. As you yearn to breathe for death and the suffering to end. Should've stayed the fuck out of my way. Other than that, I had nothing to say. Gotta put one in you like a hot model. What a point to proof goes all over my hollow. Mask with the red death, black cats, telltale hearts, purloin letter, tear yourself apart. And premature burial from the murders of rumor. 4 beats in 1, yep, a new course. My girl lives a worse brat, call it bratwurst. She says, rat, then it's that hurts. Throw you out, cause you're now put in the box. Switch, motherfucker, I put in the shop.
You know that the business are paralyzed. Eyes of terror and terrorized. But yourself no cure survives. When it's time to ride, you prepare to die. Eyes of terror and terrorized.
Gang signs look like shadow puppets.
Yeah, most people can't afford to wear it. That's why we buy guns instead.
I figured there could be a flag for retarded crybabies or losers. Then I remembered the Confederate flag already exists.
Shit, it'd be nice to see people drop their phones as much as they drop microphones.
I don't need to make friends when I have all these multiple personalities.
Terrorize! I can't do it like VECT did, man. I can't do it like VECT did it, man. That was, wow.
I like the Joe Rogan intro on that one too, by the way. That was cool.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. You picked it up.
Oh yeah, I'm a Rogan.
Nice.
I'm a Rogan.
Yeah, you recognize them.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Oh,
cool.
me too, man. I mean, he's great. He's great.
Wasn't there something we were going to ask you when we came back in? Remember?
I don't know.
can't remember.
I forgot. We're gonna talk about the song. This song. So you have You're mentioning that it was featuring somebody named Vampiricore.
Oh, Vampiricore. Yeah, who is that?
Oh no, he was just a producer. He was a producer. He's like, a handful of instrumentals that I saw back in the day online, and they were like, "Oh, it's free, go for it." And I'm like, "Okay, so who the fuck did it?" And I always wanted to know. Sometimes I couldn't find a name. I'm like, "Oh shit, somebody just." It's kind of like somebody left money there. I'm like, "What the hell do I do with this?"
Yeah,
I'm gonna take.
So at least you gave him his credit in the album.
Yeah, man. I mean, there's sometimes on some of my tracks you'll notice there's sometimes there's no credit in the actual producer, and I'm just like, I just didn't know who the hell you were. There's no name,
Right.
There's absolutely no discredit intended. There's no discredit intended.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's either way. I know because you credited everybody on this shit. And then you got the one track. Yeah. What was it? Something at your mom's house podcast or something like that? Or why is that different?
Oh yeah, it was at different balls.
Wait, hold on.
How was that different balls?
How was that different? What was it called again?
It's house. It's. I did a little double play on words again because the podcast is called Your Mom's House. And the actual song title is Hows, like as in how is. So I did a little jump on that with word. And then it's the rest of the song title is How is that different balls? And then it's a question mark that, Yeah, that's a parody song. I sent those motherfuckers a handful of times and they never even heard it. And I was like, you guys fucked up, man. But
so they never played it, huh?
Put this bitch in my album. They never played it, man. If anybody out there hears this, fucking holler at Tommy Christina and hit them up at your mom's podcast at gmail.com. Take them down. Say VECT sent you a song 2 years ago, motherfuckers.
And you weren't playing it. Goddamn.
Well, yeah, they didn't play it, man. So I feel like, well, it's not a complete. Yeah, it's not a complete waste, though. I mean, it had a place on Dark Daze, Bright Nights. It had a place on that album the whole time. I was planning on putting it there. It was that good. So I don't know if you guys ever done this. You'll have an album in your head, but you don't really have the album planned. You just got it in your head. It's still being developed. It's still like a pregnancy in your head. Mm-hmm. So what I did with that song is just go hard as shit on, being a mommy, which is, a YMH fan, and just go hard on the fan base stuff and make all the references. Because anybody listens to that song, they'll be like, what in the hell are you talking about? And I tell them, watch the actual show and you'll have an idea. That's why it's called the title, the whole title, How's It Different Balls, Your Mom's House podcast. So that started off really fun. It was really fun. I got super high and just goofed off. Made it a week thing, I think, like a 2-week thing, and just dicked around with it towards the end of 2018. Yeah.
Damn. Well, that's cool. That was the other question I was going to ask you. So, as you said, you're a rare breed. People don't understand your music. Do you ever get like a hater that stumbles on your video and leaves a fucked up comment, or what's this bullshit, or something?
Of course. Of course.
What are some of the?
I don't know whether to hit him with a chair. Well, I don't know whether to hit him with a chair or hug him.
Right.
It's just, I don't know what to say. I'm just like, you are liking me, dude. So it's all good.
Yeah, you must have taken the time to listen to my shit well enough to judge how bad I am, at least.
Bro,
and then
right?
You took the time to take comment on my thing, and then a lot of times these people say your shit sucks, and they'll comment on every one of your shows. It's like, wow, or every one of your videos. You're like, wow, I suck so much that
you keep hitting them all up.
I know.
You're giving me views.
Dude, I just did it for kicks one day. I did this like about, I guess, a month ago. I was looking up sites, to upload more stuff, and then I found somebody put like half of Lone Wolf up. And they were like dragging my name through the mud. I was like, well, thanks.
So they were just talking mad shit. And see, it's great though when you can go to somebody else's video and so, because they've uploaded your music, and then now you can read comments and you're like, oh, some people are talking shit. It's kind of fun.
It is. I just like whatever, man. I mean, first off, it doesn't really matter what they think, because they don't matter to begin with. And number two, if they were actually saying something that made a little sense, then I'd be more understanding about it. Even if I don't agree, I just want you to make sense. If I don't even understand you, then get the fuck out of here.
You just have to. You have to have a thick skin to be an artist, man. In a lot of ways.
I've realized that. You know, times on stage and watching people, I've realized that.
Yeah. Well, that's it. If you're too sensitive, you shouldn't be in the business. That's always what I've heard.
Especially now, man, when people can be anonymous and just rip you a new asshole. If you're sensitive about, like, you sound like shit, you know, from some comments, then you just better not even bother putting your shit out there. Because people
you know,
love the anonymity.
That's those. Yeah, it's because everybody's so bitch made, dude. Everybody's so tough behind their device. You know?
Yeah. Well, keyboard warriors.
It's all good. They don't.
Yeah, go ahead.
I say injustice social weaklings, not social justice warriors. You know.
Oh God.
That's what I say.
Oh man, dude, they're all.
Especially that clan of retards.
Well, how long does it take you? How long does it take you to create the Lego castle? Right? Takes you several days. You're building it up. How long does it take you to? How hard is it to break that shit down? So it's much easier it takes you 2 seconds to kick down the Lego castle, right? That you took 5 days to make. And these people, that's the thing. It's easier to tear shit down than it is to actually build something. So these fuckers can't create themselves, so they're bitter, and so they rather break it down and tear it down.
Well, yeah, because look, man, the human species is very, very self-loathing, and we're the most destructive animal that's ever been.
Yeah.
There's no.
Not even close.
No, hell no. That's the thing. So damn, man. And so where's this album? Where can you find Dark Days and Bright Nights? Dark Days, Bright Nights, sorry.
Okay, so if you're a YouTube person, you hit up youtube.com/, I don't really know about patches, you know, / I don't know if they both work, but just in case, /TZVECTEZ.
Hold on, man. You were breaking up to that point. That was a crucial point. So youtube.com / what was it? VECT what?
Yeah. It was VECTEZ, VECTEEZY.
VECTEZ. Gotcha.
Okay. Cool.
And that's on YouTube, and you're on SoundCloud.
SoundCloud.
Bandcamp. SoundCloud, SoundCloud.com, VECTEZ111. That's 111. You could just say it that way because a lot of people are like 111, but 111. And you have Bandcamp, which is VECT Sidro, BECTSIDROE.bandcamp.com. That is the Bandcamp one. That's everything is there. People have told me they somehow have problems downloading stuff there. I apologize. I've done all I can to try to render that. I hope you have any issues go away because I don't know what's up. But you can stream the hell out of it. I'll tell you that much. And you can do the same thing with the YouTube. Those are your number two, like your top two, spots that you could definitely aim for. That's a bullseye. You got SoundCloud. You got SoundClick. I don't know if y'all would be familiar with that one, but SoundClick. Man, they've been old, dude. I mean, they're underappreciated, bro. Shout out to SoundClick. So bring back SoundClick. Let me tell y'all, anybody listening here right now, man, anybody wants to know where you can go upload some shit, go up to soundclick.com, man. They still got it.
Oh, they're still around because they're old, man. They've been around for a while too.
Yeah, dude. I think they've been around since like 2002 or something.
Yeah, that's like old shit, like 2006, 2007, something like that.
You know, I'm still all up on there. So if you go to soundcloud.com /VECT, just VECT, I'm still there, man. Go crazy. I still got a lot more tracks to upload, but like I said, my hands are often tied because they're all me doing this stuff. There's so much stuff to handle.
Yeah, I got you. Well, and there's no physical CDs, obviously. It's just digital, right?
For the most part, but if you ever bump into me, I usually got some on deck, just a couple, for pressing, just to have a physical copy of. And, I like, I'm a vinyl CD guy. I like that kind of stuff, So, I mean, what's better than owning the actual music physically? You can only have so much digitally, and that digitally is great.
Oh, yeah.
I say if you really, really want to support somebody, buy the press copy.
Yeah. Well, they got to know you personally or bump into you personally if they want a press copy, I guess.
Pretty much, man. You know, like there's reasons for that. And there's reasons before things change in the future, but it's like free. You know, people going crazy on it free. It's a little more accessible. And
sorry, man. Can you repeat what you were?
Yeah,
Can you just repeat what you were saying, man? You were breaking up again. I want to let you know that so that way we can, What were you saying?
What part?
Oh, a part about if you bump into me, something. When I said, if you run into VECT, you can get a CD.
If you ever see me in person, I'll probably have a few on me. I usually do. I just try to sell them, $5 each or something like that. It's just always pretty much $5 and stuff. It's nothing crazy, and I never really went that big with it because, like I said, man, I never really tried to make this out of a career out of this. So, I always have some stuff on me for sale, but when it comes to like being big all in the stores and the websites and stuff, I don't foresee that ever happening. I mean, there might be a possibility I'll have a site at one point, but for now, man, it's all been a hobby.
Yeah,
it's not something that
passion project.
I need the baggage for. I don't need much stress. You know what I'm saying? It's like so much to handle. So my ADD is pretty horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ADD is terrible. You gotta
gotta be doing something,
Well, man, thank you so much.
Too much
for coming on. Before we go, we're gonna bring you into what is.
Shit, we might need a drum roll for this one.
Well, let's talk about this. So, what had inspired you? When did you decide? You know what? I need to do a song with Be Sick, and what? How did you get the ball rolling on this one?
So this was like so perfect and fitting. So we really had to like sit on the stairs for a while for this one, conjure this one up. We tried a couple beats before, and we were like, nah, miss.
Nothing jumped out at us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, then I had this one that I've been sitting on for a while, and I'm like, oh shit, what about this? So I throw it at him, and he was thinking, I like that. And I'm like, yeah, so check the topic. And he's like, oh yeah, for sure. So that's when planets aligned.
Well, it's a sequel to a song called "Stupid Bitch," which was on your Portrait of a Villain album.
Yes, that was on the side one of Portrait of a Villain. Yeah, the original song. There's 2 sequel songs on Dark Daze, Bright Nights. The 2 sequel songs there's a sequel to Creative Suicide Plans. Creative Suicide Plans was on my 5th album, The Archives Volume 2. That was in 2010. And so that came out way back then. And this time around, I'm like, hey, I got more ideas. And then I had a sequel called Additional Creative Suicide Plans, spelled ADD, which I have a lot of. And then you got Still a Stupid Bitch, featuring my man.
Yep, and that's where this came up. And so, when I went out to Eugene, we went over to Christian's house. I knocked it out real quick, and we sent it to you, and you worked your magic, and this is the end result.
Oh, for sure, man. And also shout out to Vic Scratch, dude. He tore it up at the end.
Oh yeah, the scratches are great in there too, man. It was nice too, because you don't hear many DJs cutting and scratching anymore like they used to.
Yeah, man.
Right.
He's sick,
That's sweet, man. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, man. Thanks for jumping on with us, man.
Remember out
there. Hey,
I
had fun, man. I'm glad I actually got to talk to you, Cruz. I mean, like, I've been a fan of your stuff, and I've seen, him feature you a few times. It's nice to actually interact with you, man. You got a dope voice. Maybe we can do a track someday.
Hey, you never know, man. I'm down, definitely.
I'm down too, man. Anything you ever want me on, you can pitch it at me, man. I'll swing and I'll hit that shit. You can try me out anytime.
Okay, nice. Cool, man. So that's VECT. That's VECT, just for everybody to know. If you can't, right?
VECT.
Right.
And that is.
So the face. Let me give you the go-tos here. Let me give you the go-tos again. So once again, it's you got Facebook and shit. That's VECTEEZY 111 for y'all motherfuckers, and that's the page on Facebook. So, and then you got Twitter, same URL, VECT111. Then you got same thing on YouTube, only there's no 111 in that URL. Just youtube.com VECT. And then you got Bandcamp, VECTSidro.bandcamp.com, VECTSIDROE, VECTSidro. And yeah, man, those are the primaries. You know, those are your go-tos. So I appreciate you guys having me on, man. Thank you very much.
Oh, man.
All right, so
Anytime.
this is the world premiere of Be Sick, featuring Be Sick, VECT from his album Dark Daze and Bright Nights. And this is Still a Stupid Bitch. This has been a Nothing Sacred interview with VECT. I am Cruise Control.
And I'm Maxwell Silverhammer. And that's
the story there.
Yeah.
Still a stupid bitch.
Now you're full of shit. Sit down.
Yeah. What's up, B?
What's up, VECT, man? Been wanting to do this for a little minute.
Yeah.
Finally coming to fruition, homie.
Let's take out the garbage.
Let's drop it on them. Going bad on you bitches. You hoes on some new shit. Borderline lesbians, scared of some true dick. You fuck with these cucks, punks, and tricks with no nutsack. Or insecure bad boys, and you bitches love that. Then you hop on some website, claim you just want a nice guy. But everybody's stable, you just passing them right by. I figure why try when I'll just get rejected. I got no substance abuse problems or criminal records.
Afraid to go outside your circle of sycophants, and those who kiss your ass, you get your fat ego popped and split in half. Your path never ends, always on some bullshit. Couldn't teach you anything, always think you know shit. You're wearing fake nails, fake hair, contacts and lashes, fake lips and ass, and wonder where a real man is. Lego your ego, bring it down a couple thousand feet like hot coals. Hit you when truth is told, you loudly scream.
Respect is the question. When will you learn your lesson? You want to mommy that nigga, and I bet that you dress him. Yeah, that's what I'm suggesting. You want somebody to fix and turn around and take credit like a lot of these chicks. A little advice is the best I can give. He's probably whooping your ass while he's molesting your kids. I hope he broke a few ribs, cause bitch, that's what you get. I see ain't nothing changed, you still a stupid bitch.
I wish I was wrong, but I was right to doubt you. And now I don't have to wonder about you. Bitch, it's obvious, I know you call me misogynist, but you just gotta get that you cause a lot of shit. It'd be amazing what you learn if you shut the fuck up and listen. Dance here a jackass, you're literally bitching. And don't get it twisted for equality and fairness. If you were so fucking smart, you'd have some self-awareness.
Game playing ass nut bucket bitch with your hand out. You had about 10 niggas and none of them panned out. You married the one, now you claiming you hating it. So what's your solution? You run out, go chasing dick. Now what's he supposed to be? Your knight in shining armor? He just wants to get you home, lay the pipe and slide from drama. He's kicking your ass out just as soon as he's finished. He's spooning your spinach, you ain't improving your image.
You were dreaming, bitch, I had to wake you up. Shake you up like weed when I break you up. Let's believe that you're conceited, that's why you can never love anyone half as much as yourself, absorb fuck. You're not half as smart as you pretend to be. Not owning your bullshit, which creates your enemies. Thinking what's not broken, always altering your looks. A junkie that took your brain surgery in a book. Obsessed with plastic surgery, you got body dysmorphia. You're not queen or princess, you're nasty as incest.
You're choosing new gimmicks every time that I see you, but all that gets you is yeast infections, herpes, and gonorrhea. You'll be single for life, cause ain't no niggas wanting you. Go in for a pap smear, the measure in longitude. Don't even want a dude, you just wanting to play games. Pussy like flypaper, face like a great dame. Save your drama and hoe shit, and all your pubic itch. I see ain't nothing changed, you still a stupid bitch.
You live blind at your mind, filled with pride and lies that you deny. Unlike those in fear of you, I'll speak my mind. Abuse my kindness, why the hell would I need this? Like diseases, I can't be around you weakness. Thinking you could control and repeatedly have me chase you. I had you drawn differently and now I erased you. The terrible foul things that you say and said to me. Cunt, dig yourself a grave cause you're dead to me. Oh, putting on makeup for the 7th time today? Eat it instead. Then maybe you'll be pretty on the inside, bitch. Sidro, be sick. And you are walk. And you are walk. Still a stupid bitch. Stupid ass bitch. She be saying, "Oh, I'm different now. I've changed." Yeah, for the worse Only changes I see is your hair color and your stupid ass profile picture online.
Still a stupid motherfucker. You are just doomed.
Stupid bitch.
Yeah.